All right, let's dive into a really fascinating, kind of radical idea about AI from the neuroscientist Dr. Vivian Ming.
So let's start with this. What if the smartest thing an AI could do is just refuse to give you the answer? I mean, it sounds totally backward, right? We pour billions into these things to get answers. But Dr. Ming's work points to something completely different, that maybe that's the absolute wrong way to think about it.
And that's the core of it, right there. She says, it turns out giving you the answer is almost the worst thing these machines can do. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This came out of some really cool research she did on how we actually collaborate with AI. So, to get to the bottom of this, she set up this amazing experiment. The challenge? Predict the future price of oil. Super tricky, right? She pitted 3 groups against each other. Humans on their own, AIs on their own, and then teams of humans working with an AI.
Okay, so at first the results were, well, pretty much what you'd guess. The humans, bless their hearts, did terribly. The AIs, of course, did great. But the really interesting part was the human AI teams. Most of them, the vast majority, just asked the AI for its answer and then turned it in. That's it. Dr. Ming has a great name for them, automators. They basically just became a pair of legs for the AI.
But buried in all that data, there was this tiny group, like 5 to 10% of people, who did something completely different. And this is where it gets really good.
Instead of just taking the AI's answer, they argued with it. They pushed back, they collaborated, they treated it like a partner. And the result was just, wow. They didn't just beat the other humans, they beat the best AIs. Get this, even when their AI model was weaker, they hit what's called super AI performance. They became cyborgs.
So this experiment really lays out 2 paths for us, right? You can be an automator, or you can be a cyborg.
Let's break that down. The automator basically outsources their brain. They ask for the answer, and their performance is never going to be better than the AI itself. But the cyborg? They augment their thinking. They collaborate, they refine, and they create something way better than either human or AI could do alone. So to double down on this idea, Dr. Ming did something kind of genius. She built what she called the worst AI ever. Seriously, it was programmed to never give a straight answer. It would only give you more context, more data, and then ask you more questions, a Socratic AI.
And what happened? It was amazing. The number of people who became those super-performing cyborgs doubled. It jumped from 10% all the way to 20%. Just by taking away the easy answer, the AI forced people to actually think. And it turns out they were more than up for it.
So what's the secret sauce here? What makes someone a cyborg instead of an automator? You might think it's, a PhD from MIT or amazing coding skills. But nope, it's something much more fundamental, something Dr. Ming calls human capital.
And this is the key takeaway. Human capital isn't some fuzzy, vague concept. It's a set of measurable core skills for learning and innovating. And here's the kicker. These are the qualities that actually go up in value as AI gets smarter. Because AI doesn't replace them, it supercharges them.
So what are we talking about? Things like curiosity, the need to ask why. Intellectual humility, being able to say, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Perspective taking, resilience when you fail, and having a real purpose. And please, don't call these soft skills. They are the absolute bedrock of success in this new world.
And building up that human capital is everything. Because, let's face it, answers are cheap now. They're basically free.
Think of it like this. AI is incredible at what are called well-posed problems. Questions that have a right answer hidden in the data somewhere. But our job, humanity's job, that's tackling the ill-posed problems. The messy stuff. The frontiers where we don't even know what the right question is yet, let alone the answer.
But there is a huge danger here. If we just rely on AI to give us the answers all the time, our own brains, they could get lazy. Our cognitive muscles could start to weaken. And we've actually seen this exact thing play out before with another piece of tech we all use every day.
GPS. Yep, your navigation app. There's real research showing that because we rely on it so much, we've stopped using the part of our brain that builds mental maps. And that's linked to worse and even earlier memory decline.
Dr. Ming puts it perfectly. GPT is the new GPS. It's such a brilliant analogy for the risk we're facing. If we just use AI as a substitute for our own thinking, our ability to think will literally start to shrink. We'd be outsourcing our own intelligence.
So the big question is, how do we stop this from happening? How do we make sure we become cyborgs, not automators?
Well, it all starts with a simple 3-part mindset.
Okay, first, augment, don't automate. Second, use AI to explore all the weird possibilities, not just to find one right answer. And third, challenge the AI. And just as importantly, challenge yourself. It's a total mindset shift from just consuming answers to actively collaborating in the thinking process.
Dr. Ming has this awesome, simple tip for how to practice this. Next time you're going somewhere, look up the route on your map app, get the info, then put your phone in your pocket. And try to beat it. Try to find a smarter route. You get the benefit of the AI's data, but you are the one doing the thinking.
And this gets to a really deep point. The only way to build resilience, which is a huge part of that human capital, is to fail. You have to. Our brains are literally built to learn from mistakes. If an AI just hands us the perfect answer every time, we never fail, we never learn, and we never grow.
So ultimately, that's the big takeaway. We're living in a world that is drowning in answers. Our value isn't in knowing those answers anymore. Our true value is in our curiosity, our creativity, our unique human perspective, and having the courage to ask the questions that only we can ask.